Hi everyone, my name is Marta Moreno. I am your tutor in the Practicum 1 and in the Practicum 2. Today we're going to talk about the format, the evaluation format and the correct way to fill it. This is a little demanding process, so I hope you please watch this video the times you need, and also if you have any question, don't hesitate in contact me by the mail, by the platform, but the most effective way is by WhatsApp. Remember, we have a group, and probably your questions could be questions for other people and could be successful and good for all of us. Well, this evaluation format is the 30% of your grade, so you have to take into account to fill it the correct way. Um, Very important, do not attach the original, you have to scan it, but if it has some corrections with corrector pen or liquid paper or some mistakes or rewriting things, is not okay. It is an original format. It's like your midterm evaluation, so you have to be very careful and conscious when you are filling this format. Okay. First thing to take into account. If your advisor teacher doesn't speak English, you have to translate the full format and attach the translated full format as your evaluation. It says, thank you for your considering the supervision of a student enrolled in the practicum third. Student teaching practice is viewed as the highest point of experience in the bachelor program process. To successfully complete the course, the student must show competency in each of the three required goals and meet the other expectations. Here we have scale. So exceptional, above average, average, below average, and failure is better in English. If you're going to translate it, excelente, bueno, excelente, muy bueno, bueno, aceptable y no aceptable. Don't put bad because it's not a good adjective. Okay? And here they are saying to your advisor teacher what he has to do. Observe that the student teacher for at least 30 hours. You have to have taught at least 30 hours in order to do this evaluation. Printed version of the teaching portfolio presented by the student before the evaluation. So what is the teaching portfolio? Is your presentation letter. Remember that at the beginning of the practicum, I I have sent to you, I will use an example here. I sent to you the presentation letter. So this presentation letter is part of the portfolio. It has to be signed by your principal or your coordinator, and also for the teacher who had received you as a pre-service teacher in your school. Also, it has to have your CV, yes, your CV and your hoja de vida, and also the attendance sheet. Okay, this is the teaching portfolio. Deadline to submit marks, August 30, 2017. But don't feel panic, because if on August 30, 2017 you're not okay, you can do it later. But more or less we have this deadline because it's the proper time. To offer constructive feedback to the student teacher, you should share your document feedback with the student teacher to assure he or she knows his areas of strength and weaknesses in order to improve as the practicum progresses. Once again, thanks for your participation, and here is the format. It format has the teacher's name is your name, not your advisor teacher, and the grade you are teaching, what you are currently teaching. Here they have the scale, and it is evaluating some things. For example, content knowledge. Teacher shows an understanding, correct use of grammar, and accurate presentation of the topic. Staying off the topic is that if you have to teach, for example, the colors, you are going to talk about the full class about the colors, everything, videos or material has to be related to the colors, and it applies in other things. For example, if you're teaching grammar, that I don't like calling it a valid teaching topic grammar, probably you are going to thinking in communicative functions. You are going to work on this and not in other kind of things. Remember, obviously, language is plural, so probably if you are teaching colors, you have to teach the clothes or you have to teach the fruits, but the idea is to stand in the topic. They are talking about also instructional skills like your lesson plans. Pacing of the class is very important to do not stay all the time in front of the board with a marker. I have seen a lot of videos of your micro teaching classes, you in front of the students, and probably you have to pay the classroom. If you say you are going to make a game, right in the lesson plan, you have to make a game. If you are going to make an evaluation, right in the lesson plan, you're going to do an evaluation, because everything which is in the lesson plans are going to be reflected in the evaluations. Yes, teacher has planned lesson, logical sequence steps, standardized English, English the full class. I have seen a lot of videos about English classes in Spanish and a lot of grammar classes. We have studied the approaches and we have seen that the grammar translation method is one of a big palette of methods. The material also, it's very important to teach English that you present to your teacher and to your students some material, copies, flashcards, games, dices, well, any kind of thing that could improve their language. Okay, variety of techniques also. You are all the time in the board with the marker teaching grammar, your evaluation is not going to be successful. Student interaction is not you speaking. The idea is that your students speaks too. Remember our didactics teaching classes about teachers talking time and students talking time. The variety of modes like sees, hears, sees, touch, not just look, listen, and copy. Many classes about look, listen, and copy, and you have to change it in order to have a good evaluation. The corrective feedback, that is very important. You have studied that in didactics. And the personal presentation of you. If you are well, if the students are disposed, etc., etc. And this important part, do not write anything here to mark and scoring process in this part of the format is the practicum professor. This is for virtualidad. So your teacher just have to put X and X and X. Could be with pencil. It has not desire to be digital. No problem. So the teacher is going to put, your advisor teacher is going to mark, yes, in the score he thinks you deserve. And also this is another important part, that he puts your name, yes, and here he has to comment on the 3 goals. The 3 goals, I repeat to you, are personal presentation, corrective feedback, practice and care for the students, and content knowledge. Okay, so this is very important that the teacher evaluate here, make some comments. An evaluation without comments is not valid. It has to be positive and negative comments. Not all negative, not all positive. Other important part is about the number of designed classes. You have to attach to this evaluation your schedule, yes, in order to know how many hours are you teaching. If you tell me, I have 3 hours of classes, one with preschool, one with second graders, and one with first graders, I expect 3 lesson plans daily or weekly. Yes, so the number of designed classes has to be has to be related with the number of lesson plans you have attached. This is very important. And the total mark is part of my job. You are not going to put anything here and your advisor teacher less. Okay, here, other important part, the signatures. Here is your advisor teacher. Here is the school principal. Yes, it could be the coordinator or could be your principal, no problem. And my signature. I will put the signature when I finish checking the process, when I upload the grade to Moodle, and when I told you, okay, your midterm exam, because this is the midterm exam, grade is the grade I consider, your advisor teacher consider after checking the evaluation format. Okay, if there is not signature of your school principal, the grade is not valid. This evaluation must be carefully drafted, typed without errors, smudges, scratches, corrections, or alterations. Yes, well, my signature is going to be when I finish. Okay, well, it's very important to remember, how are the documents you have to attach with the evaluation. Also, it is going to be in the space provided to upload the evaluation, but I guess it's very important that you have this clear in your mind. Okay, so, well, first one, it's very important to have your portfolio. Yes, remember the portfolio is completed by your CV, your Spanish hoja de vida, okay, the presentation letter, the attendance sheet. The attendance sheet, remember which is the attendance sheet. The attendance sheet is attached to your presentation letter. It has to be completely filled by your advisor teacher and you, with the smudges, without the smudges, without the scratches, without corrections, without any bad thing. And also your lesson plans, the amount of lesson plans. Second, your advisor teacher can evaluate one class, one prepared, special prepared class to fill the format, or he or she can evaluate the full process. Yes, if he or she wants to evaluate with this format, the full process is not any problem. But if she or he wants to evaluate just one class, you have to prepare a class like a mid-term evaluation. Okay. So you have to attach the portfolio, your CV, your hoja de vida, presentation letter, attendance letter, the lesson plan. Remember, the presentation letter has to be also signed by your principal, your coordinator, or the principal or coordinator of the school, and the teacher, the advisor teacher. Okay? And no more. When you have it all complete, you are going to do it, all the full documents in a, could be in a zip file or in a PDF, all of them in one PDF. In order to do or to make it all documents or a wall of documents once, you can use this page, a small PDF. This page is very useful because in this page you can take a lot of Word files and convert them in PDF. Or if you are scanning in a scanner, probably Cam Scanner, that is one of the most popular because you can scan from your cell phone. You can merge the PDFs because Cam Scanner converts everything in PDF, or you can do a Word file. Well, those are just suggestions. You decide how and when are you going to do it. We have a deadline. Remember, it's August. Probably beginning of September, middle of September is the deadline to bring to us your first evaluation because this is part of the 30% of your grades. Also, I have here, and I think it's very important, is about the percents of the practicum. So it applies for practicum 1 and practicum 2, but more or less you have to upload the first version of your research or your classroom project. This is 2%. You have to upload the evidence of your 10 hours of observation. That was the needs analysis. This is 2%. You have to upload the evaluation format by your advisor teacher. This is 27%. It's a white percent. You have to upload the second version of research or classroom project. You have to upload the first version of your digital portfolio. Many people say, in didactics we have made a digital portfolio. You have to recycle or you want to recycle, no problem. You have to upload the evidence of your first 35 hours of teaching. This is 2%. You have to upload the final version of your digital portfolio is 2%. Uploading the last version of your research project is 50%. Presenting the final version of your research project in an oral lecture via Skype. This is for integral or P2, not for P1. P1 have another issue. And uploading my final class for my final P2 assignment. This is 25%. You have to take into account that you have to teach a class for evaluate you. And the person who is going to evaluate your class, it's me. And this is 25% of your grades. This is for P1 and P2. So try to take your, to arrange your things, to organize your things, because you have to teach a class like a mid-term exam. So as you know, as you see, there are heavy works, and you have to get in the mood of organizing this in order to get your 100% in this practicum. Units 2 and 3 are going to be uploaded as sooner, probably at the end of this week. So you have to take into account this. If you have finished, you have to organize. If you're almost finished with that time, you have to organize your things in order to finish your process. Okay, that's all that I have to say. I want to say thank you for all of you and see you in the video lectures or in our calls.